Hello and welcome to Lewis University's Career Discovery Podcast, where we are going to be discussing the dynamics of careers in the 21st century. I'm your host, Nina Nowaczyk, the Assistant Director of the Graduate Admissions Office, and today we are speaking with our guest, Dr. Sheila Boysen. Dr. Boysen is an Assistant Professor and the Program Director of the Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership. She has her professional coaching certification through the International Coach Federation. She holds a professional human resource certification from the Human Resources Certification Institute and is an executive board member of the Chicago Coach Federation. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Boysen.
Absolutely.
So, the Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership program offers 5 concentrations, one of them being professional and executive coaching. Can you explain to me what is coaching?
Definitely. So coaching is really about unlocking people's potential to maximize their own performance. So in essence, it comes down to helping them to learn rather than teaching them. And that's probably one of the biggest things that differentiates it from other helping professions. So a professional coach really focuses on supporting you to design the life and the career that you want, be it in corporate, nonprofit, or even an entrepreneurial setting. So professional credentialed coaches have acquired many hours of training in coaching behavior and competencies, as well as professional standards and ethics through programs that are accredited by the International Coach Federation. So coaches with that type of extensive background really serve as a powerful partner, advocate, and even a champion. And they have a proven coaching process to help you achieve your goals.
So, just to sort of expand on that a little bit, how is coaching different than other helping professions?
And that's such an important question because I think we see coaching used interchangeably with some of these other helping profession names as well. So the foundations of the coaching process promote inquiry. It challenges thinking patterns and creates new ways for individuals to think, to be, and to act. So every coaching conversation is based on the client's agenda specifically. And it requires a partnership of equals between the coach and their client. So it assumes already that the client is completely whole and not broken in any way. Now, I know that can still feel a little bit ambiguous, even in hearing that. So I like to look at kind of a simplistic example that helps us to differentiate coaching among other helping interventions and professions. Riding a bike, something that many of us can probably relate to on some level. So, for example, the counselor or even the therapist would really want to help you discover what's holding you back from riding the bike. They'd go back into your past and they'd discover what kind of experience you had at an early age with the bicycle. The consultant would bring you a bicycle manual and they would tell you everything you ever wanted to know about working with a bicycle. The consultant would then depart and maybe return 6 months later to see how you're doing. A mentor would share their own personal experience with you of riding a bike and the lessons that they've learned, right? The mentor would then bestow wisdom and they'd talk about, riding the bicycle. Now, all 3 of these types of helping professions are extremely important, but the coach, to give you that example, they'd help you to get on the bicycle and then they'd encourage you and endorse you and acknowledge and support you while running alongside you until you felt comfortable to go it alone. So I think sometimes if we look at it in concrete terms, such as an example of riding a bike, it helps us to differentiate these different professions and helping interventions.
So with that said, when you mentioned the client, can you give us some examples of who that client is? Who uses coaches and why? Why would they hire a coach?
So in reality, anyone can use a coach and benefit from a coach. So both on that executive or business level, as well as life coaching. So both sides of the coaching house there have lots of different specialties. And these specialties are really what help us to understand just why anyone could probably benefit from working with a coach. So, for example, life coaches can specialize in areas such as relationship coaching, productivity coaching, or health coaching, just to name a few examples. Business coaches might have specialties such as executive presence coaching or women in leadership coaching, or even career development or career progression coaching. So really anyone can benefit from coaching as long as they're open to moving forward and working towards positive growth and development.
So Dr. Boysen, what value can a coach offer a business?
So in a business context, coaching can be extremely powerful and effective. Maybe the really quick answer is a lot of value can come from coaching in business. So assuming again that you're open to change and actively trying to get better. The longer answer, on the other hand, there's really been many emerging studies that have contributed to research on this topic as far as what exactly is the benefit and what does that look like. So first, a recent study that I'd love to mention that was done by Stanford University on coaching and leadership success found that 99% of CEOs are receptive or very receptive to making leadership style changes based on feedback and coaching. However, only 34.3% of those same CEOs are receiving coaching. So other findings from a 2001 case study that was done by Harvard Business Review on the ROI, return of investment, of executive coaching reported a landslide of 98.5% of coaching clients said that their investment in a coach was well worth the money that they spent. So lots of positive ways that coaches can impact business.
So 99% of CEOs are receptive to coaching. Wow, that's incredible. So
what are some of the coaching methodologies used today in executive coaching?
I love that question. Our program specifically at Lewis University is based on the solution-focused coaching framework. At its core, the focus is on helping the coachee or the client to find solutions rather than focusing on problems. It helps them to build on strengths rather than weaknesses and find positive ways forward rather than focusing on or examining potential barriers. So there's actually many different coaching tools that are also covered in our program that give coaching students a strong foundation and tools that really can make up their tool belt that they can use as they're working with clients.
So when we were talking about other helping professions, I know that in some helping professions, you do not put anything of yourself when you're working with that particular client. How much of yourself or your own personal story is relevant in coaching?
This is such an important question as well. I think most coaches are drawn to the coaching profession because they love helping people to make changes, to live more fully. So personally, I've been in roles as a trainer, a consultant, and a mentor. And although all of those roles were tremendously fulfilling and important, nothing has felt quite as powerful as coaching when it comes to truly contributing to the lives of others. But this is one of the biggest differentiators when we talk about coaching compared to some of these other helping professions. We are not injecting much of our own personal story in the most traditional sense or pure forms of coaching. We're really helping the clients to unlock answers that they might not have been able to get to on their own. And it's much more about a process of powerful inquiry as opposed to a process of telling someone what they should do. Because it's one of the biggest differentiators, it's actually one of the things that makes coaching the most powerful.
So going back to the organizational leadership program, who do you believe can benefit from this program?
So this program is really designed for individuals that would like to enhance their own coaching skills. And there might be a few different reasons that they'd be interested in doing that. A lot of our students have gone on to start their own successful coaching practice, whether this was a full-time endeavor or a part-time side opportunity that they work on in conjunction with other parts of their career. Some of our students have gone on to work towards building a coaching culture or internal coaching program within an organization. And another handful of our students have really just wanted to gain those coaching skills so they could add it to their own skill set in their own work environment and in the roles that they're already encompassing.
So let's say that someone has decided, okay, I think I'm interested in this, and I'm looking to study executive or professional coaching. How then, I'm done now with the program, how do I become a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first step really is that coaching training that we've been talking about. You want to make sure you research and enroll in an International Coach Federation approved training program. So the International Coach Federation, or ICF, is the governing and credentialing body of the profession of coaching. It's really the gold standard. And much more are we seeing organizations that are looking for coaches that have that credential. That certification really allows you to establish that minimum standard. It assures the public that participating coaches and executive coaches meet or exceed these standards. And certification really builds a network of credentialed executive coaches across the globe that we know are measured against these standards. It meets that growing demand by clients to hire credentialed professionals that are set apart from others that are offering different professional helping interventions. So the International Coach Federation offers 3 levels of credential. And when you partake in an ICF accredited training program, you want to look for one that fully meets the educational hour requirement, which then after successfully completing your program, you are able to go through the certification process of the ICF to get either your ACC, Associate Certified Coach credential, or your PCC, Professional Certified Coach credential.
Can you tell us what is the career outlook for coaching or for coaches right now?
That's what everyone thinking about coaching wants to know, right? So coaching is definitely a growing profession, which is one of the most exciting things about taking a look at this as a part of your career right now. So if we look at national job boards, and when I say that, some of the big ones that we'd kind of hone in on would be things like Career Builder, Monster, The Ladder, and even LinkedIn. Currently, there are over 13,000 jobs that are posted that list executive coaching, career coaching, leadership coaching, or even organizational coaching as a main job responsibility. Every 4 years, the International Coach Federation conducts a massive research report on the state of the profession of coaching. The last one was actually just done last year in 2016. And the findings pointed to the fact that the profession appears to be growing with an estimated 50,000 professional coaches generating close to $2 billion in annual revenue and income a year. The Bureau of Labor Statistics rates the profession of coaching as having an expected growth rate of 22%. They also rate it and compare it to other professions, and this is considered to be much faster than average over the next 10 years. And the average executive coach salaries for job postings nationwide, as reported by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, are 5% higher than the average salaries for all job postings nationwide. So overall, to bottom line, the career outlook is really positive.
Wow. So you're saying there's 13,000 jobs posted, and that's basically from companies that are looking to actually hire an internal coach to help them. That's fantastic. So let's say someone becomes a coach, they get their certification. Is there a recertification process that they have to go through?
There is, just like lots of other credentialed professions. Coaches need to have 40 hours of continuing education credits during the period of 3 years. So they are required to recertify every 3 years. This allows for continual growth and development of the coaches, and overall, of course, is a very positive thing. And there's lots of options about how a coach can recertify through the International Coach Federation. Things such as attaining the hours through coursework or mentoring from other coaches that are more advanced than them, or even teaching coaching courses. And of course, there's other options such as special projects and research activity that's approved by the International Coach Federation.
All right. Well, kind of going back to that 13,000 jobs, I can't believe it, but what types of organizations are looking for people to be coaches?
Absolutely. So we mentioned how lots of coaches are looking to do independent kind of coaching practices, whether that's on the side, part of a portfolio, career, or as a full-time endeavor. But the exciting part of the growth in the coaching profession is also coming from these organizations that you mentioned. So some organizations end up hiring coaches as contractors, and they give them kind of a roster of clients that they're working with. Also, many organizations will hire external coaches to coach their employees, their managers, or their executives on a part-time basis. Some companies that have been doing this include companies like Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Goldman Sachs, Groupon, and even NBC Network. Another thing that we're starting to see that's really exciting as far as organizations and companies that are looking for coaches is that we're seeing more and more organizations that are actually hiring coaches internally, full-time, where their main job responsibility is internal coaching within the organization.
Dr. Boysen, I really want to thank you so much for joining us today. If someone wanted to learn more about Lewis University's organizational leadership program or just wanted to get in touch with you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
So our programs and our cohorts begin at the beginning of every year in January, and then we have another cohort that launches every fall. So we're currently reviewing candidates for those cohorts. If anyone is interested, they can absolutely reach out to me to learn more or to ask questions. My email address is boysensh@lewisu.edu, or you can contact the Office of Graduate Admissions at grad@lewisu.edu.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today on Lewis University's Career Discovery Podcast. For more information on any of the topics discussed in this podcast or any other questions about Lewis University, you can also reach out to me, Nina Nowaczyk, at the grad email address, which is grad@lewisu.edu. Thank you.